The French Open is the only time in the year that I am pleased to see red all over my screen. Why? French Open is played on clay, red clay, and if you want to know why that's important, then just watch the rest of this video. Click here to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll get instant notification of new videos as they're released. But why is Roland Garros, the French Open, of so much interest to us? Well, it's because it's played on clay, and clay produces very different characteristics to other tennis surfaces. So you have hard courts, you have grass, and you have clay, and you also have indoor hard courts that have different characteristics. Obviously, if you play outdoors, the behavior of the ball and everything else is going to be a bit different from if you play indoors. But clay itself is the slowest surface that you have on the tennis circuit. What's the advantage of that? Why is that interesting? Well, if you look at grass, for example, it's very easy to win a point on grass because you just hit the ball as hard as you can, and when the ball hits the ground on grass, it's not only a fast surface, but it has a very low bounce as well. So as a consequence, it's much harder to return a serve on grass. You tend to get big hitters, Karlovic, Isner, all of these will do well at Wimbledon. But if you look at the French Open, which is played on clay, and of course, you know, we're in the European clay court season at the moment, the surface is much slower and the bounce tends to be higher on clay as well. So as a consequence, it's very easy, well I say very easy, it's not easy at all to return a booming serve, but it's much easier on clay to return a big serve than it is on grass. And if you can do that, your chance of breaking the server increases. So the opportunity and the occurrence of breaks of serve is much higher on clay. If we look at the stats that we have on the screen in front of us here, what you will notice, these are percentage return and receive percentages on different surfaces. So you can see there's quite a big difference between grass, where the chance of winning a point on serve is very high, and clay, where it's significantly lower. But also look at the genders. You'll actually notice that there's a big difference between men and women serving and returning serve. So, you know, the best characteristics that you tend to find are women's tennis on clay. The opportunity to return a serve is higher, and therefore you tend to get more breaks. So if you look at how you would take advantage of that, obviously if you're looking for breaks of serve, you're going to get quite a few on clay, and you're going to get even more on the women's tennis on clay. So you can set up a strategy that allows you to take advantage of that. Look for an opportunity for a break, and then look for an opportunity for a break back or another break. You know, there are lots of opportunities there, depending upon the style of the match, where it is within the tournament and so on. Because the thing you tend to find in Grand Slams as well is they're organised so that the two top seeds end up meeting in the final. And as a consequence, the early rounds can be very uncompetitive. But, you know, there is an increased chance there of a break of serve. What a lot of underdogs will do is attempt to get a break of serve very quickly in the first set in the hope of destabilising one of the top seeds. So it's not unusual for the underdog to start really well and for the favourites to gradually get back into their stride eventually. So the only hope that the underdog has got of winning at much, much bigger odds is to really go for it and see if they can get away with a lucky break in the first and maybe, you know, go on and take advantage of that. So yeah, very different characteristics on the clay court season, and particularly at Roland Garros as well. The Australian Open was played on a hard court, Roland Garros is on a clay court, Wimbledon will be on grass. So very different surfaces throw up different characteristics. And as a consequence, the European clay court season is one that I take particular interest in, because you're much more likely to get a break of serve on this particular surface. So I suggest you go off and search for a strategy and tactic that will take advantage of that. So yeah, best of luck at Roland Garros. Hope you have a good tournament, and hopefully I'll get the opportunity to update you with a few more videos around tennis during this interesting couple of months that we've got in front of us. If you're interested in learning more about BetAngel, its tools and the opportunities they present, then why not visit betangel.com today and download a free trial.